Okay, so hopefully I can continue it with the other clip, but this is the dB power. I just killed my battery for science. So it's got this little blinking thing. There's no voltage coming out, so I'm just going to connect it. We've got 8.7 amps. It has that relay which is turning on and off. 8 amps, 11.7. Hopefully you can read that. It's clicking on and off. Let's start the car, why not? That worked pretty darn well, I'd say. This guy isn't even terribly hot or warm. I guess it's just my car is pretty darn good at starting. So I'll take you inside and I could probably leave this running for a while. Uh-oh. Voltage dropping out there. What's battery current? Let's see that. Maybe it's just the connector coming out. See how well it's charging. Might as well zero it out. Yeah. Overcurrent. Whoa. That's a lot of current. You see that? Focus. 70 amps. Wowzers. That's a pretty high charge current. Hopefully I don't blow up my battery. If you can see there, if this camera would focus. Yeah. See what the battery voltage is. Connected. Got 13.7 over here at the battery. Cord's tangled. Can't show it. Guess I shouldn't really leave it running. Guess I can for a little bit. But I'm going to take you inside and show you the rest of the dB Power's features. Okay, so we're back on the bench with the headway cell. This number 4 got 8.59 amp hours. But we're reviewing this battery today. So, it can start a car. Didn't take much, did it? I'll have to review the footage, see what the current was when I turned the engine over. but didn't get warm. Did what it was supposed to. It had the this block with a 80 amp relay, I believe. Big automotive DC, I hope it's DC. But yeah, I didn't even have to really like press the button or anything. It just started charging on little pulses. So the only thing is these cables are quite short, so but like these make a good workout toy. They're not copper, they're probably just copper plated, but if you can see the thickness there, whoop, it's pretty hefty. And same with on the teeth. It's pretty thick stuff, so it's decent. It's as decent as your connector blocks. So, its other features are DC output, 12, 16, and 19 volts. Whoops. Comes with a plethora of adapters. There is no Lenovo square plug. There is the Lenovo 20 volt and the other one that's smaller. It does have a Dell one. However, this does not work to fully power a laptop. If you were to plug this into a laptop, it would say like a 5-watt adapter or 1-watt minimal power. So the processor is going to underclock hard, like very hard. But anyway, so let me pull up the document. There we go. Move that out of the way. Here is my document with all the data on it of how I tested it. Get you situated a little bit better. Gonna focus? There we go. Hopefully you can read that. There. So we've got 18 amp hour, 66.6 watt hours, 600 amp jump starter. We'll have to check the thing, see if it went over range on the 40 amp. USB output I got from, oh yeah, the 2 USB ports. Right there. You can't use the USB ports the same time as the DC output. And the 2 USB ports. So I got 45 watt hours from it, and I got from the other one, don't know what that was, but I charged it from 13.35 volts, which is my little bench supply over on my shelves, and it put in 62.6 watt hours, 4.7 amp hours, and charged. I was measuring the voltage straight at the battery terminal, which is where the jump starter plugs into. It was 12.3, and the USB, when it died, it was at 8.7. That's a pretty high range there for LiPo. So input from 12 volts, barrel output testing. So at 12 volts, that's the voltage there on the barrel jack. At 1 amp, it's about 0.41 ohms. That's using a little adapter. I don't have it. Okay. So 5 amps, it's 0.22 ohms. 500 milliamp hours, now 12 amps. Oh, that was how many milliamp hours that the DC load drew. And 16 volts, 1 amp, 0.12 ohms. 5 amps, 0.05 ohms. 82 watt hard lockout. Okay, so if you draw too much current from the DC barrel jack, it will hard lock out on you. I was drawing 82 watts at the DC barrel at 16 volts, and the whole thing shut off. Couldn't turn it on, couldn't even turn on the light, the flashlight, and I had to plug it in to charge it in order to turn it back on. So be careful. And that was at 11.9, so it's tripping the internal protections PCB, not an overcurrent on the boost buck converter or whatever. So yeah, I think I charged it up. Yep. This was okay. So it's 16.4 1 volts, 3 amps. That's the DC output again. That was the voltage of the battery, and I got 2.754 amp hours, and then 10.22 volts. It had a hard cutoff again. So once again, it's tripping the protection PCB, not the other one. But I got, oh, I don't know how many watt hours that is, 2.75. So that was about 45.2 watt hours from it, where it cut out completely. And DC input, charged again, this time 12.37 volts. And then I do a 12 volt output? I don't think so. No. However, I did an LED runtime after charging it up from 12.37 volts. LED runtime, 8 hours to 90%, 1242 to 80%. So 0% at 7:19 a.m. 42.53 hours, or 42 and 53 minutes later. Cut off at 9.81, once again a hard cutoff. So you can run the LED for 42, almost 43 hours you can run this LED, this one, yeah, that's a lot of lumens. It also has blinking and then strobe. Oh, by the way, I put stickers on my things so I can remember them. So yeah, so the good, it'll start your car. What's its percentage? 94%? It was probably about 96, 95%. So it didn't even lose a percent, and it started my car. So the good, it'll start your car. It'll charge your laptop if it's not a Dell or Lenovo or one that requires a special adapter. It's pretty chunky. It's got a nice case. It's convenient to just leave in your trunk. And the bad, oh, the good still, USB outputs. I don't know what those cut out at. How many amps? Alright, you don't want that one, you want this one. How many amps? This is the left port. Bonk. This is a soft lockout. Because all I did was press the button. So that was about 2 point something. 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 3. Okay, 3 amps. Other port. Hopefully it'll stay focused. 2, 7, 8. Oops, that was too quick. Huh, 2.8 on the other port, which is the output port. I think the other one has the chip. The other one is probably coded for... Whoop. 2.8 on D+, 2.1 on D-. Anyway, this video is getting long. So, USB ports are nice. I can deliver some current. But you can hard lock it by running that down to 80 watts or maybe a 7 amp on the LiPo battery. Running this all the way down till it's cutoff voltage. And the LED down to its cutoff voltage. Does also have this, which I am not going to test the runtime of that because that's going to take probably a week from a full charge. So that's what I think of it. It's pretty decent. I'm going to keep it. And well, my car battery seems to be pretty decent after I don't know, spilling acid all over the enclosure. I'm gonna have to clean up someday. But yeah, I might add my supercapacitor to it. Find a way to put it in the front. Amperix. I think this is Amperix? No, it's not Amperix. 2.7, 360 divided by 6, which is like it's 60 farads. Yeah. So I might install that in the front where I jumped it, but question is mounting and whatnot. So hope you enjoyed that. It's kind of long, but got to see it start my car. Hopefully my car starts again because I turned it off right now. But should have enough juice for the morning. See ya.